Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this 5-Minute Friday. So today we're going to be talking about productivity and how to get stuff done. So one of the biggest things we hear as business people or as individuals in general is that, I don't have enough time. I ran out of time. There's never enough time in the day. It's not enough minutes in the day. But there is enough minutes in the day. And I will share with you guys a tip on how to maximize that time during the day. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm giving you advice, but not in the normal fashion. And I'm not telling you guys a story. In fact, I am challenging you guys and myself to something in this episode. So, something I realized when I started using screen time on my iPhone. So if you don't have an iPhone, if you never use screen time, basically you get to see on your iPhone how you use the screen on your phone. So that shows how much time you use on your phone, and it also shows how much time you use on certain apps or certain categories of apps on your phone. And I started to notice how much time I was actually using on social media. Now, social media is great. Social media is a tool, especially for business people, and it can be really fun. Social media within itself is not a bad thing. But when it starts cutting into time that you could be using to be more productive, it can become a negative thing. And something that I also practice that feeds into this tip is planning out my day. So before you can actually use this tip to its best ability, you have to start with this other tip that I'm about to give you now. So the best way to maximize how well your day goes as far as how much things you get done, you need to plan out the day before the day starts. So before I go to sleep every single night, I plan out the next day, schedule it pretty much to the minute of how I'm going to utilize that day and get the things that I need to get done. I also have a to-do list that are some not as high priority things that need to get done, but they still need to get done nonetheless. So I have those two lists, my daily schedule planned out to the minute, and also my to-do list of things that aren't super high priority. So when I go throughout my day, I started realizing that when I started paying attention to the screen time, how much time I use on social media, mostly in the dead spots of my day. I'm not just sitting on my phone for hours and hours and hours looking at my phone, but I am going on my phone in little increments during the day, which I call these dead spots. And these dead spots can be times when you are at a traffic light, times when you are waiting for something to happen. You're 10 minutes early for the meeting and you're waiting there. You're 10 minutes early for the class. You're waiting for the professor or whatever it is. And you just, flip out your phone and you spend those 10 minutes going through your feed on social media. Or you're waiting for food to cook and you're in the kitchen and you're just going through your thing. Whatever it is, these are kind of just dead spots during the day. When you get home after you leave work and you're transitioning from one activity to another, you just sit down on your bed and you spend time on social media. And don't get this wrong, it doesn't have to be social media. My thing is Instagram. I love the platform. I love spending time on it. I love communicating it for business. I love communicating on it just for fun. I love looking at funny videos. I love the platform Instagram. But it could be a multitude of things. It could be YouTube. It could be FaceTiming people. It could be being on the phone. It could be text messaging. It could be playing video games. Whatever you're doing, those dead spots in your day can be used for something else. So instead of me going to my phone for the day during those dead spots, I would do something on my schedule to make sure, am I on track? Have I missed something? Does something else need to get done during this time? Or I would go to my to-do list of things that I'll probably skip out on or probably forget about, and I would get those things done. So for example, if I am sitting in class, let's say, or I'm at a meeting early, because you always want to be a little bit early. I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. Instead of me going through my social media feed, either I could be preparing for that class, or let me look at my phone. Okay, I actually do need to send an email to my advisor so that I could get my credits done for my class. Oh, instead of me sitting there on 10 minutes using that time for social media, I'm actually getting something that really needs to get done, and that's something checked off my list that I don't have to worry about for the rest of the day. You see where I'm going here? So these things add up. 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here of things that you're checking off your list for the day. And next thing you know, you get to the bottom of your to-do list for the day, or you get to the bottom of your schedule for the day, and everything's checked off. And you had enough time the whole time. It's just about how you use it. So here's the challenge I want to give to you. I want everyone, whatever that thing is for you, for me it's Instagram, to only do that thing for 43 minutes a day. Yeah, I know that's like a super random number, 43 minutes. Where did that come from? I was originally going to say half an hour, but then I realized I really do use Instagram for business communication a lot. So I boosted it up 13 minutes to accommodate for that. Now, this is going to be really hard. I'm telling you, you don't realize how much time you use on these platforms, but it's definitely possible. What you have to do is you have to be strategic about how you use your minutes. You can't go on your phone for something, let's say it's business related. You need to send a DM on Instagram and you get distracted and go to the Explorer feed or start liking pictures. That's where the time gets wasted. So you have to be strategic about how you're using your time. So if you are in this with me, I want you to DM me on Instagram and at the Music Report Podcast, DM me, or you can take a screenshot of this episode on your phone, whether it's on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're listening to the podcast, and let me know that you're in. If you're in, let me know. And for the person that actually does this, and can prove to me through their screen time stats that they actually honored the challenge, I will have them as the next guest on the Music Report Podcast. So, we're going to start this since it's Friday now. You don't want to start this on the weekend. The weekend is for fun. We're going to start this on the Monday after this episode is released. So, this Friday, the next Monday after this weekend, and we're going to go to Friday 12 a.m. So pretty much 11:59 that Thursday. We're going to go for the 43 minutes of whatever that thing is a day, and that will culminate the challenge. So if you are in, let me know. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Muse Report. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will talk to you next week, which will be Tuesday. Until then, keep turning your muse into reality. Keep building your vision every single day. Peace.
Hey guys, Clee here. Thanks so much for listening to the Build Your Vision podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would think you did if you stayed all the way to the end. The best thing that you could do to help support this show is by sharing it with somebody. By you just taking a few seconds to recommend this show to somebody, you are making a huge impact, not only on the success of this show, but possibly on that person's life.